Hi. It's been a while, but I'm happy to see you again. I'm happy to be back. Today I'm going to be doing my makeup and rambling for a bit. Might do my nails, we'll see. If you're unfamiliar, this space is Grow Gently With Me, where we grow together at an intentional pace with ASMR instead of overstimulation. Normally, I soft speak about personal growth, self-directed learning, vulnerability, and introspection. I've been kind of thinking about the direction of this channel, which I might get into later. But I'm currently in the process of figuring out what I will continue to softly speak about. I think the main core isn't going away, but just kind of like the topics and making sure my focus is on where I want it to be. But as always, please provide care and understanding to others while you're here. You're doing your best in this moment, and whatever that looks like, it's enough. Okay, so I'm gonna do some layered sounds. While I do my makeup. I've got some like notes to talk about. But how has everyone been? I'm curious to know what you're up to. I have had a very eventful couple of months, or however long it's been since I've been away. But my health, I got really sick with the flu, I think, for like the second time this year. That sucked. Lasted a really long time. I hate getting sick. It sucks. It sucks so much. So that happened. And then, like, right after that, my cat got really sick. And we weren't sure if she was going to make it. You've seen her here before. You've seen both of them, but it's the tabby, the like gray and white tabby named Squirt. But she had to be hospitalized for a couple of weeks, and she was very expensive. Luckily, I'm friends with my vet, and he was able to He's very kind enough to help keep the costs down and offered to do a lot of the work that the emergency hospital was recommending, which was so nice. But yeah, it was really scary, and I was very anxious and in kind of like a depressive mood. And it was a really terrible time, but she's doing okay now. She's made pretty much full recovery. She has, a little bit of like muscle atrophy. Because she was hospitalized for so long, so I've been working on trying to get that muscle back by playing with her and stuff, and having her chase the laser and like the feathered cat toys that are called like da bird, if you've ever heard of those. Basically they mimic the same like movements of a bird, and my cats go crazy for them. So I've been trying to separate her and Toot so that Squirt can get her like exercise in, because otherwise I think she gets nervous that Toot will take her prey, and so she doesn't want to engage when she's around. But yeah, it was really stressful too when she came back from the hospital, because Toot was like, who the hell are you? And she was like hissing at her and stuff, and yeah, we had to keep them in different rooms and slowly reintroduce them. Which was stressful because, obviously, like, Squirt had just experienced something probably traumatic for her. And had to deal with Toot, like, hissing at her, and we didn't let it get too far, obviously. Like, she immediately hissed when I think we had her in the carrier, like through the door or something. It was like really early on. And we were watching them every time we introduced them for brief moments of time. Reading online, like a bunch of like literature said to introduce them or reintroduce them over food. So that's what we were doing. I like meal times. And then eventually, their bowls got like closer and closer together. And I don't think they are as like close as they were before, which is kind of a bummer. But it's been, I don't know, maybe a few weeks since then, and they've kind of settled into their routines. I'm like really going hard on my eyebrows right now, and I don't know why. It's probably just like focus while I'm like talking. But yeah, that was incredibly stressful. I'm like such a morbid person too, so I was like planning for the worst. I even picked out like what I would get her from like get her ashes like in or whatever. So in the future, when it happens, I'm all ready. But I think it was better for me to act like it was going to happen, and kind of like prepare myself that way, rather than being hopeful. Just because I would have been like so devastated if I had been hopeful and it did not work out. So in this instance, I preferred to plan for the worst. I'd be curious to know if anybody else can relate to that. Yeah, so like a couple weeks after we brought her home, I went on vacation. Just kind of like to an Airbnb, not anything like too special. We kind of just like stayed inside. My like live-in partner and I just like stayed inside, and we built a puzzle, and 1,000-piece puzzle. It was very exciting. We just like listened to music and drank and like laughed, and it was so relaxing and so nice. We like cooked some. We ordered takeout. Yeah, just had like a change of scenery. The Airbnb that we stayed at had like so many windows, and we just got like a dose of sunshine every day, and it was really, really nice. I'm really glad that we did that. We had already planned it like a couple of months in advance and had planned on taking the cats with us, and so when Squirt got sick, I like was dreading the vacation, because if I had to go on it without her, that would have been awful, because I, like envisioned her there, and she had a really, really good time there. Yeah, she loves going to new places and like exploring things, and so she was having so much fun, like sniffing and going under the bed and getting all dusty, and yeah, she had a blast. So I was really happy that we did that. I was saying to my partner that I felt really sad for the version of me, out there in the multiverse, in some parallel universe. I felt sad for the me that had no Squirt there on vacation. I was so happy to have her. And Toot had fun too, obviously. Maybe it's not obvious, but she did have fun. And I think they were actually really sad to come back. They were like, what is this house? Where are my open spaces and things to climb on that are new? But yeah, it was a really nice time. So I guess like beyond that, other things that I've been doing are like listening to a bunch of podcasts. I kind of go through phases of like what I'm doing, I guess, in my like downtime. I've kind of talked about this in like my activities video. But I was watching YouTube a lot a few months ago, and yeah, then I got into podcasts. So I was just doing that while like playing phone games and stuff. I'm on like level 650 in this like puzzle game that I'm playing. Yeah, I was just kind of like relaxing, and it was, yeah, it's been really nice. I think I talked about this before, but I'm kind of like self-isolating. And I haven't really hung out with too many friends in the past few months. And kind of just like spending like a lot of time with myself. Sometimes I'll like, give my friends like a call on the phone, and that's been really cute and sweet. But yeah, spending a lot of time with myself, and yeah, listening to a bunch of podcasts. I think I listened to the entire catalog of Knife Point Horror, which I love. Also, the Magnus Archives. There was a point in the story that got really, really dark, and it came out during like the start of the pandemic, and I was like, I'm not listening to this anymore. And so I wanted to go back and listen to the whole thing. So I did that. I did not care for the ending. But that's okay. I enjoyed the journey there. And I hope the creators felt satisfied with what they did. Like, what a massive undertaking. I think it was like 5 seasons. I listened to this like BBC podcast called Forest 404. And that one was really interesting. It's about a future in which like it's kind of like a digital burning of Alexandria, where a bunch of technology was lost, and like cultural recordings and stuff. And so the job of the main character is to excuse me, figure out which digital recordings that are left should be kept. And she finds a recording of a rainforest and doesn't know what to make of it. Because I think like all nature was destroyed as well in this like cataclysm. And so yeah, so it's her journey after she finds that recording. And I thought it was really interesting. I still kind of think about it. I listened to it like, I don't know, a couple months ago. But if you listen to it, let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. That's kind of all I do for my makeup these days. Pretty simple. Maybe I'll go grab my nail stuff. They're a little bit chipped and stuff, so kind of just want to freshen them up. in my anxious, depressive state, I like bit because I used to bite my nails a lot. And one day I was just like, I'm not gonna bite my nails anymore, and so I grew them out, and I've been growing them out for like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 years now. But every so often, like when I'm anxious, I'll like bite one nail like all the way down, like super short. And this time I bit 2 nails all the way down, and they're still like growing back, but I have like a fake nail over them, my 2 thumbs. But the rest of my nails are real still. But I'm debating whether or not I want to do that right now. It's like 8:30 p.m. I guess I have speed drying, like liquid, I guess, drops that I can put on top, so I think it'll be okay. Yeah, let me go grab my my nail stuff, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got all my stuff. So I guess I'm gonna use nail polish remover to take off my polish first, and then I've got this color, which like feels super summery to me, so I'm excited about that. Where was I? I was talking about podcasts. Yeah. I listened to that one, Forest 404, and I also listened to the Left Right game, which was really good. It was from, I think, like the No Sleep subreddit. They made it into a podcast. I really enjoyed that. It's very weird. And I also listened to I Am in Skew, if anybody's heard of that one. I think the sound quality isn't like super great in the beginning. You know, it feels like some guy just kind of recorded it in his room, you know, which I'm sure that's what he did. But I really enjoyed it. It is so interesting, just like the concepts, and it's a horror podcast. So I always appreciate new approaches to horror. And so I really enjoyed that. I also didn't care for the ending, but yeah, the journey was cool. I've been watching like a lot of like TV shows and like movies and stuff. I caught up on the last season of Black Mirror, which was really good. I love Black Mirror. It's one of my favorite series. I watched Squid Game, and I'm excited for the second part of the second season, which I guess is sort of the third season. I don't know how how they're counting it. And I've been rewatching Lost. I saw it, like, I binge watched it with my partner in college, and it was so much fun to do. Just like, we were so entranced with it. Neither of us watched it when it like first came out. And so yeah, we would just like hole up on the weekends and just like watch it, and it was so fun. So now we're rewatching it a lot more slowly. I think we're on like season 2, maybe the middle of season 2. But yeah, it turns out I remember like nothing, so basically like, you know, watching the show like as somebody who's never seen it before. What else have I been watching? Oh, I've been watching The Great Pottery Throwdown. If anybody's ever seen that, it's on HBO right now. But that's really fun. It's just like, you know, it's like the Great British Bake Off, you know, where it's just like very wholesome and there are beautiful things to look at. And it kind of just like inspires me to do art, which I haven't really been doing that much of, but I'd like to get back into it. I've been creating this like art piece for one of my friends, and I've been working on it for, you know, who knows how long, and I'd like to get back to it, but my free trial of Clip Studio Paint expired, so I'm waiting for the next sale because I'd like to buy the perpetual license, but now it's kind of out of my budget right now. So yeah, so once I have that program again, I'll get started on it again. But movies I've seen are Sinners, which I thought was pretty good. Made me cry several times. And I watched Mickey 17, which reminded me a lot of Nausicaa. So that was really interesting. I'm not really like a big fan of like Robert Pattinson's like American accent, and this one was like a totally new American accent. I don't know what it is about him. I think he's just okay. But yeah, he was pretty good in that movie. And I saw Bring Her Back very recently. I really enjoyed that. I thought it was a very cool horror movie. It was very uncomfortable and unsettling. Yeah, I was really pleased with it. Oh, actually, I didn't even bring the drying drops. Like the fast drying drops. I'm gonna go grab those. I actually don't know where they are, but I'll be back. I'll be back soon. Okay, I'm back. I love these things. I was using the Sally Hansen ones before, but these are the Essence Nail Art Express dry drops, and they're so good. They just like make your nails, your nail polish dry like super fast. And I have like zero patience, so I really appreciate it. But yeah, I'd love to know what anybody has been doing in their free time. Or, like things you're excited about. I'm just very curious about the people that watch my videos. It's been so cute getting comments from you, so. I want to know what you're like. I have to do my nails around the mic. But recently, when I started feeling like I could focus again on making videos for this channel, I was kind of thinking about, what video should I make? Who am I making these videos for? Who's the person that I want to find these videos? And so I've been doing a lot of work on figuring out that information. And I've been using Claude, just from Anthropic, and it's kind of like a chat GPT alternative. And I definitely have things to say about AI, but I don't really know if I am capable of having a very well-reasoned, nuanced conversation around it. I think that something that I've thought about, is unethical training data and stuff like that. But I think what most appeals to me about AI, like ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini or whatever, is that I think it makes things, or one of the things that I see it being used for personally, is making things accessible for the user. So I think that it can make extra brain power accessible. And I don't use it for creation, I guess, where I'm not hey, Claude, write a script for my videos or something like that, I use it to critique my work. So I'll ask it to to look at my work or ideas through a critical lens. or play devil's advocate, which I would never really ask somebody to do because I don't really like, people who play devil's advocate just like for the sake of playing devil's advocate. But, I ask AI to do it so that it can, point out any like flaws in my thinking or flaws in my ideas. Or does this accomplish what I think it accomplishes or not? Like, does it accomplish the goal that I want? And I give it the goal, and ask it to critique it through that lens. And so I've been using it like that, or I'll ask it to, like organize my ideas. So I've had a very, very long conversation with Claude over the past couple of days. Like asking it to help me figure out like my audience. Maybe let's step back a bit. Also, in regard to what I was saying earlier, I think that it makes, like expert knowledge like accessible. Like I don't have the money for like expensive consultants that could do this kind of work, right? Like where it's like a marketing consultant and like a business consultant and like an editor and like all these things. And I think that it makes that type of knowledge like accessible, because like Claude is like $20 a month, and consultants are not $20 an hour even, depending on how good you go. And I think that the critique and the like feedback that I get from Claude is definitely worth $20. I'm not currently paying that because I'm using my work account that I have. But I think that it would be worth it if I were to get it on my own, because I've had a lot of use for it, for this channel and for like job applications. So I've run like my cover letters through it. I've given the job description as well as my resume to Claude and asked it to tell me truthfully. What does that even mean to an AI? But to tell it truthfully, or to tell me truthfully, like whether or not I'd be a good fit for the role. Because I think that we can have like warped perceptions of ourselves. And it's nice to have like a second opinion in that way. Yeah, I think that it increases accessibility for the common person. Like even on the free version, I think, even though it's like pretty limited, you can at least ask like, like a few questions. And yeah, I've had a lot of success with that. I haven't really used any of the other AIs. I just really like Claude's approach. Like the aesthetic of Claude too, which, doesn't have too much to do with it, but it is nice. Kind of like a dark gray background and with orange accents. But I do know that people have mixed opinions on AI. I know it's a lot deeper conversation than what I'm having with you right now, but yeah, I just thought I'd provide my thoughts on how I use AI. So I asked it to help me come up with, or like figure out like who my audience is. And I like uploaded the comment section and kind of like picked out a few where I was like, oh, like this is the kind of engagement that I'm interested in, and I'd like to make, you know, videos for this type of person. So shout out to the people who commented. I want to make videos for you. If you feel inclined to let me know what types of videos you want to see, I'd love to know. But I think my target audience is, you know, somebody like me. Melanated, queer, neurodivergent, tired of hustle and grind culture. Wants to improve themselves and their community. So yeah, I've been coming up with video ideas, and I asked Claude to also give me some good recommendations for research I can do on my own about like certain like psychology concepts that I'd like to talk about here as well. And so I got a bunch of, you know, like authors that I'm going to look into. You know, see if they're even legit. And yeah, go ahead and research the concepts that I'm interested in. But I think the ultimate goal that I have, Claude said it was very ambitious, which I mean, I don't disagree. And I've talked about this a bit in the past, but to kind of give like a fuller picture on kind of like what my vision is for a community that kind of works like a small town, but like not a bigoted small town, sort of like a digital commune. But yeah, a lot of my friends, my recent friends that I've made within the past, you know, like 3 years or so, are online, and so we talk on Discord. And so I'd really like a community of people on like Discord, or, you know, I have doubts about or like apprehension about Discord's like security and privacy. So I'm looking into alternatives to Discord. If you know of any, let me know. But I'd like it to be, you know, like a space where like people support each other for what they're going through. There are people who write like how-to guides and like share them about like anything. You know, like how-to guides for like how to grow like broccoli or something, or like how to cook certain recipes, or their guide to like a certain like fandom or something, like a beginner's guide, or like an intro, like where to start with like One Piece or something, I don't know. But I think that sounds really cool. And there would also be like, like discussions, and it wouldn't just be like my Discord, it would be like ours. So I'd want to like democratize it and have maybe like a council or something. And I want it to like run without me, kind of be like self-sustaining, where like, yeah, like I'd start it and like help it grow, but I wouldn't want to like own it. And yeah, that's kind of my vision that I want. I just want my friend group that I've cultivated, times like 100, I guess. I don't necessarily want like a lot of people. Like, I think like 100 people sounds like a lot. I'm expecting like 20 to 50 eventually, because I don't think that kind of thing would be for everyone. But yeah, it's kind of my vision. A digital commune. If you want to join my digital commune, let me know. But I'm gonna try to work on my goals. I think an update of my goals in my next video. And creating that server, I think, will be in there. And then just like, like unveiling it and stuff. Even if nobody joins, at least like I'll start contributing to it and have the foundation for what I'd like to see there. Even with the drying drops, I'm like messing my nail up. It's not that big of a deal. Nobody really looks at my nails except me. I feel like I'm making it worse. I'll just leave it alone. That's okay. I don't think I actually have anything left in my list of things that I was like, oh, I should talk about this. So now I have to come up with stuff out of my brain, which is always an issue for me. But I guess I can talk about kind of like the concept that I came up with for future videos. I think that there'll be 2 types of videos that I do. One would be about like meeting yourself where you are. So trying to make like adaptive concepts for like self-improvement or for like growth. So for example, journaling, you know, like self-reflection practices are generally pretty good for you, but I think a lot of what is touted is like journaling by hand, like in a journal, or some people do it like digitally, right? But I think knowing that there are alternatives and providing yourself with the alternative that would work best for you. So maybe you might be better at self-reflection where you like just like talk into the mic to yourself, like your phone mic or whatever, and just like create voice notes for yourself. Or maybe that's just drawing like a picture in like a journal or digitally, and that's part of your self-reflection, like art therapy or whatever, you know. Or maybe that's just meditation. You do self-reflection like within your body, like somatic therapy or something, you know. But I want to apply that concept to a lot of self-improvement ideas. Just kind of making it easy for people to do the things that will help you improve. Things that maybe you didn't think were possible or available to you. And then I think the other concept that I'd like to talk about and make videos for are just like learning journeys. So like I talked about how Claude provided like research that I can look into for certain like concepts. I guess it's not just psychology, but like political concepts that are interesting to me. And yeah, I'd like to do that kind of learning alongside you, or for, you know, anybody who watches. Like, I'm gonna do the learning anyway, so it would be cool to offer that. Like, I guess it's not really like body doubling, but kind of, I guess. We like research stuff together, or you know, like look into certain concepts together, or read a book together, you know. I just like that idea of like collaborative learning. So I think that's kind of what I'll move forward with in the future. But yeah, just to give you a little sneak peek at what's coming, I guess. But yeah, I think that'll be it for tonight. Thanks for being here, as always. Thank you so much. And I will see you hopefully next week, where I'll do my updated goal setting video with new goals that I have. Because I know that I have not been keeping up with my goals, and that's okay. That's what I needed. But I'd like to get back into doing stuff, so I'll be here to go through that with you. Bye. Bye.